Hey everyone, Nightland Tutorials here. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a landscape photo 10 times better in under 10 minutes. So the things I'm going to be covering in today's video is firstly, how to remove something that you don't want from an image. I do remove that branch that's in the top right corner. And then I also make the water look more blue, the trees look more green, and the sky look more like a sunset. And this can all be done in under 10 minutes using adjustment layers and layer masks. So let's get started. First, open up your image. I have mine open right here. And the first thing I like to do whenever I'm editing a photo is double click on the layer and press enter. This will unlock the background and let you adjust that, but I'm also going to duplicate that layer and then hit enter or OK. And this way, if we do mess up the removing of the branch, we always have our original image right below it, so we can just delete and restart. So first, to remove this branch from the image, if you're on a PC, you can hold Alt and use the scroll wheel. If you're on a Mac, you can hold Option and use the scroll wheel to zoom in. I'm going to grab the clone tool. So for the clone tool, I do have the hardness kind of low, around 30%. And the size, you can press the close bracket to decrease the size and the open bracket to increase the size of the brush. So I'm simply going to hold the Alt or Option key and then click and drag the branch to duplicate the sky from here over to here. And whenever you're using the clone tool, since the sky does have different shades of blue, you want to make a selection that is in line with where you're cloning, just so that it's the same white and the same color. And then simply going to go down the branch and remove it from the image. Now to remove the branch where the cloud is, really simply, you can just decrease your brush size a little bit and make a selection where the cloud is, and you just want to highlight and duplicate the cloud just so that it looks natural. The good thing for us is clouds are super unique, so no matter how you do it, it will look good. And then simply going to clean this up also. Again, duplicate right here and just kind of clean that up a bit. So there we have it, it's removed from the cloud. And now for the trees, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more and decrease my brush size a little bit more. I'm going to duplicate the sky for these parts right here. And then since that overlaps the tree, and since we have other trees here, I'm simply going to make a selection on this tree and duplicate that over. Just so that looks a little bit natural, and if you mess up, you can always come back in with a different section and clean that up a bit. And now I'm just going to make a selection right above where the branch is and just click and drag that all the way across, and it cleans up really nice. And then again for this tree, I am going to grab the selection here and just kind of drag that down a little bit. Maybe bring this up a touch. There we have it, that looks pretty good. Now we're going to get into our adjustment layers. So the first thing I like to do is go to levels. I'm going to bring the midtones to the right a little bit, just so that they're a little bit darker, and then the highlights down a touch. Click the double arrow to hide this. And then I'm also going to do brightness and contrast. I'm going to bring the brightness down a little bit and the contrast up. Maybe bring the brightness up a little bit more. Hide that. And then now I'm going to add a photo filter. So now we're going to get into making the water look a little bit more blue, the trees look a little bit more green, and then the sky you can make it a little bit more blue and make it pop out if you're looking for more realistic, just quick edits. Or if you want to change up the picture entirely and add a sunset, then you can do that as well. So first, for the water, we're going to click on the filter and change it to a cooling filter. I'm going to do cooling filter 80. I'm going to bring the density up a bunch. Now don't worry about what the trees look like now. We're going to fix that, but just make sure you get the water to how you want it. And then whenever you add an adjustment layer, it automatically has a layer mask on top of it. So with that selected, we're going to grab our paintbrush tool, and then with black as our main color, we're just going to color in all the areas that we don't want this adjustment layer to affect. So we'd want the trees to not be affected by this. So we're simply going to go through and paint black over all the trees. And I do have my hardness down low at about 50%, just so that it's not a crisp line between the adjustment layers. And it transitions pretty nicely. And then for the horizon, one thing I found is pretty simple. You can just kind of go through and do it quick and dirty. Then you can come in after with the white and just follow the horizon. And you can zoom in and make this as fine as you want, but kind of quick and dirty does work and it looks nice. You won't really tell a difference. Next, we're going to add another photo filter. This time we're going to bring it down to green. We're going to increase the density, this time looking at the trees to make it look like we want. We can hide that. Now, since we did already go through and draw black on the tree line where we didn't want it to be blue, that's the exact area where we want it to be green. So you can simply hold Command or Control and select that layer mask, and that will select the sky and the water. So you can come in with your paint bucket tool and with black as your main color and simply click, and that'll fill all that in. And you can also see right here and right here is where we didn't all the way clean it up on the other. So you can hit Command or Control D, and then you come in with your paintbrush and just kind of clean that up a little bit more. So there we have it. Now the water is looking blue, the trees are looking green. Next thing I'm going to do is add the sunset. So again, photo filter, this time with the warming filter and just orange. Going to bring the density all the way up. Going to hide that. And you can keep the dark effect on the water, but I'm just going to have it on the sky so that the blue does shine through and the green does shine through. So for this, with the layer mask selected, I'm going to increase the size, and with black as our primary color, I'm just going to go through and clean all this up. And then switch over to white just to clean it up a little bit more. I'm going to hit all the spots that turn blue. So there we have it. That's all of our adjustments done. So now I do want to add a little bit of a reflection on the water. To do this, I'm simply going to create a new layer, grab my quick selection tool, and then I'm going to go through the water and make a selection, make it a little wavy, bring it around, and then again a little wavy, narrow it out. Now I'm going to grab my paint bucket tool, and then with white as my primary color, fill in the selection, Control or Command D to deselect, go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. Gonna change the radius to about 91 just so that it's blurred pretty nicely. Click OK. Then I'm gonna grab my eraser tool and erase the white off of the coastline just so that it's on the water only. I'm going to go to my blend modes and change it to overlay. You can change the opacity a little bit to make it look however you like. I think that looks pretty good. Next, I'm going to add a new layer and add another reflection layer. So grab the lasso tool, do it the exact same way. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Probably gonna blur this line a little bit more. And then with the eraser tool, just kind of clean up the coast. And then blend mode, go to overlay. So this is what it looks like before we added the white highlights to the picture, and this is after. So it did just brighten it up a little bit, a nice little touch added to the picture. That's how to quickly touch up a landscape photo. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more, and leave a comment below if you have any questions, or let me know what you want to see next and I'll work on that. See you in the next video.